Well, 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 well. We're back, guys. Hopefully you are not getting too bored of me today. We've got Andre Cronje scheduled to speak in 10 minutes. Fantom doing the business today. Just stalling here a little bit, shy of that 49.50 cents mark. We're going to cover off exactly what's going on with Andre Cronje. What does he cover off? I don't think I can share the link. I had to pay for the virtual conference because I couldn't make it out to Miami. So I've been watching it along here on my screen. I don't think I'm going to share it with you, partly because there's not going to be too much on there anyway. It's not worth getting copy striked for. But no doubt he's scheduled to speak. Let's see if there's any movement in the price. Let's just take the time to kind of answer some Fantom questions and watch the Fantom charts as well. Smash on likes. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We've put out a bunch of interesting content today. So if you haven't watched the Fantom video from this morning, go watch that. If you haven't watched the macroeconomic video, go watch that as well. So about 9 or so minutes until Andre Cronje speaks. I'll listen in. I'll hear if he has anything interesting to say, and I'll relay that to you guys. Swapley, good to see you. Vicky, good to see you. Steve, good to see you as well. Vicky, you are early indeed. LVM Revolution, hope you're well, buddy. Right, so you can see, look at this, guys. Absolutely insane here on the Fantom chart, on the hourly chart. Look at this, proper parabolic move here. Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see us come down to the parabola, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but the catalyst is right now. Everybody's excited about what we've got right now, which is Andre Cronje speaking. So we've got Andre Cronje speaking. You've then got Fantom doing another piece later on. So I think it's about, 8 o'clock today. Michael Kong does another 10-15 minutes session as well. I don't suspect much is going to come of that. I think Andre Cronje seems to carry a little bit more weight in terms of moving the price nowadays. I mean, he's almost like the Elon Musk of Fantom, right? Everybody waits to see what meme does he tweet, what does he tweet, and you do tend to see some price move. So we will be watching it to see if there is any impetus. If I jump on over to here, what I've done is I've put the 5-minute chart on the right hand. Sorry, let's put this. Let's do the 5-minute chart on the right hand side. And on the left-hand side, we'll put the 1-minute chart. Let's see if we can do that without it deleting on us. Let's see if I can sync. Yeah, let's take the time off. We'll go 1 minute there, and we'll go 5 minute there. Okay, just wants to follow me. Great. So what we'll do is we'll put Bitcoin on here instead. Perfect. So what we can see is we're stored out a little bit at 49 cents, and then you've got this kind of 50-cent mark, right? It'd be great if we can hit that 50-cent mark and break through that, but we've got a little bit of work today to do before we get there. So you can see we've got a nice uptrend. Big retracement earlier. Obviously, that was around the time when we got some of the GDP figures and the jobs figures. The whole market dumped very briefly and then bounced back. But Fantom is cracking on. Let's see if you guys have any questions on Fantom. I will cover those off for you guys. Jenny, so no stream of Miami. No, they're not letting me share it. They're not letting me share it. I did message the team, can I do it? But I think they're trying to sell the stream, so they wouldn't let me share it with you guys, unfortunately. They're treating it like a football match. So yeah, I won't be able to share that with you guys, but I've got it open here. If there is anything interesting, I'll share it. You're not going to miss anything. Don't worry about it at all. Most of these talks, I mean, Andre Cronje is scheduled to speak for 10-15 minutes. They're generally pretty... He's even said there's no major announcements, right? So we're not expecting craziness to happen, but you never know with the price action. It's just sitting here coiling up, and it could just have a move as and when he speaks, and maybe even sell off towards the end of his talk. So this is where you have to be careful of buy the rumor, sell the news. I've told you guys about that plenty of times. You're even creating a little bit of a double top pattern as well. So maybe we'll just have to keep an eye on the different scenarios. You know, this one is there, or you can do something like this and break through. That's what we're looking for on the Fantom chart. London Live saying this is buy the rumor, buy the news. Yeah, if it is, then great, right? If there really is some substantial news and we buy the news, then great. That is why I have a long-term portfolio. But traders don't sit and hope, right? They try to play things in their favor. So short-term traders will be riding the buzz up into an event and then they sell regardless. If it's a positive outcome and they miss some more at the top, they don't mind because they just rinse and repeat. In terms of your long-term portfolio, that's where you benefit from real good news coming out. Brandon says, good to see you. Good to see you too, buddy. Hope you're well. Alex Cholton. Manny says, will there be a retrace on price for Fantom? Quite possibly. But the one thing that holds up quite well is it's not just Andre Cronje speaking. So Andre Cronje is going to speak in about 5 or 6 minutes. But then Michael Kong is coming back again at 8 o'clock. So there's a lot of things which can keep the price quite excited over the next couple of days. Remember, tomorrow's the last day of Quantum Miami. So I guess it's just a question of if there are traders in the market, when are they going to get out? Because one thing is for sure, it's not just long-term holders in the market right now, right? There will be traders in the market. I mean, look at this outperformance from Fantom. This is crazy. 25% today, pretty much the biggest performer today, and completely outdoing the market, right? I mean, if we put it into perspective, Fantom up almost 19-20%. Bitcoin is having a slightly red day today. I mean, Ethereum is down 1% today. Cosmos is down 3.5%. Just taking it by storm. And it's really nice to see a project which we've been covering since, forever. I mean, obviously I've been invested in, liked Fantom for a long time, but making content regularly from middle of 2021, right? When I started making YouTube videos regularly about crypto. So it's good to see that people are starting to find out what we already knew, that it's hugely under the radar, it's hugely undervalued, and it takes long, right? When you're looking for a solid project like this, they don't come in every week. It's not every week you find a great project. You can find meme coins all the time, but finding a good solid project with good tech, good team, good longevity, and Fantom's proving that right now. They're proving that they're one not to be ignored, and you're seeing the price action move. But again, I don't want you guys to be bag holders. Be very, very careful. If you're trading for short term, it's something to be wary of. Now, there is a difference. In 2021, we were at the top of the market, right? Right now, we're at the bottom of the market, and the market wants to recover. So this is a far better situation than the 2021 Fantom Developer Conference, which I was talking about, where there was buy the rumor, sell the news. Like, how can Fantom outperform all other cryptos? I think it's a concoction of different things, right? Obviously, the conference helps create some attention. But on top of that, people are, like I've said this whole time, after risk rotates back on, people will be actively looking to jump into layer one solutions. And when you jump into layer one solutions, you'll see that, let's just, one second, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything on the stream. Stream is live in 3 minutes. Cool, I'm on the right link. And I'll make sure I'm not missing anything. Keep my headphone in. So yeah, people rotate across into layer ones. And when you rotate across into layer ones, what are your choices outside of Ethereum? You start looking down the list. You've got Binance Smart Chain, yeah, fine, centralization. You've then got Polygon Matic, that's a layer 2, it's not a layer 1. Then you look down the list and you go, oh, Solana. Solana's had a bunch of issues now. Then you look at Cardano, somewhat lackluster performance, and I hold Cardano, so I understand that. And you keep going down the list, and then you look at other layer 1 projects which are commanding crazy valuations. I mean, you look at Near Protocol, hugely, in my opinion, is getting more and more frothy, even though I like the project. You look at things like Avalanche, yeah, okay, not too exciting. Then you get to something like Fantom, where it's like sub-billion market cap at the time. Now it's above, it's at about 1.2, 1.3 probably now. But it was at, close to 500-600 million and lower. So as a risk to return, people are looking and going, hang on a second. Amazing technology, great stack, good block finality, decent throughput, good team, navigated a bear market, been around for quite a few years. They got Andre Cronje there as well, one of the best DeFi minds. I mean, the risk to reward, just when you look at it, compared to, look at something like Aptos, $14 billion fully diluted value. You look at Fantom and you got 80% in circulating supply, right? The difference is just, this is what people are looking for. And these were one of the reasons I like the project. Now, don't get me wrong, I've not gone overboard and kept my whole portfolio Fantom. You guys know that. I wish I did because, it's fun, but I can't do that and I won't do that. Even if the price runs away from me, I don't have regret around those things because I've got to keep a sustainable portfolio. One thing is about building wealth and the other thing is about maintaining wealth. Now, when you've got absolutely nothing, you can take risks that somebody who's built a little bit of income can't take, right? You've got to preserve wealth. And that's another challenge. As you start making your first million, 2 million, 3 million, you need to preserve that. You can't just keep doing degen plays that got you from 0 to a million to go from 1 to 10 or to go from 10 to 100, right? They're different strategies. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Warren Reader says, just jumped out of my position after buying in at 20 cents. I'll be kicking myself if this keeps running in the short term. Cool, nice little trade for you, Worm Reader. Blue Instant, I hope this coin goes to $10 at least. So you've got a long-term view similar to me. Heidi Abdo, how are you? Thanks for your efforts. What could take Bitcoin to visit 15,000 again? Do you believe? I think it's very difficult. You need a crazy event to happen for Bitcoin to go back down, or you need a deep recession or Jerome Powell to really mess things up. But after we've just seen that we had a good GDP figure, we've had decent, the job market's still strong, it's going to be difficult. Ramon says, I bought 40,000 Fantom at 20 cents and sold at 45 cents and put the money into Kusama. I think Fantom topped for now. Thanks for sharing. Worm Reader, not many people cover Fantom except you. More are coming back, but that is because of the price action. Stick with those who give good calls. Yeah, that's the thing. You guys have to kind of sift that out, right? You can watch people who've been covering Fantom during bear markets and bull markets, but there's always going to be people, when you got it moving 20%, loads of people are going to make a video about it today because That's the nature of YouTube, right? But the reality is you've got to find people that actually have done the deep dives into the project. And look, if people are trading it, by all means cover it, right? Trade it. But you guys know we're in Fantom. Well, I'm personally in Fantom for a little bit more than just short-term trades. Raphael, when Andre releases FEM, I will long 30x. Legend. Worm Reader, what do you think about creating an L2 on Fantom despite it not being at its full potential? I don't think that's an issue whatsoever. I think if there's one thing we've learned from Ethereum, having a layer 2 doesn't create, a major issue. Look at Polygon. Ethereum wasn't fully at its potential. They still went through and moved across to proof of stake. They still want to do a bunch of improvements in terms of sharding, and it's not having an issue. It just brings more attention, more partnerships to the chain. The more the merrier, as far as I see it. Thoughts on Harry? Yeah, he seems like a good. Yeah, I've always found it a bit dodgy. It's just the way he comes across. But again, I don't know the guy. I don't invest in projects like Tomb or Life, partly because I find them a little bit too risky for me. But I know people who do and have done pretty well with them. You've got to be careful, right? It's like anything. If anything's promising, the whole world to you, in a play or crazy yields, just be careful, right? My mum used to always say, if it's too good to be true, chances are it is. Just use that mindset and it'll steer you right in crypto. Right, it is time now, but I can't see Andre Cronje just yet. Maybe they're running late on this panel, so we'll let them crack on. Let's see. Let's make sure we're not missing anything.
I would say financial.
If you hear me go quiet, guys, I'm just listening in on the stream to see if there's anything interesting I need to share with you.
We have yet to have a sound, scalable, secure execution, settlement, and data layer, right? And I think that until we get to a point where all of those are sound and modular, it's going to be difficult to really create a vibrant global ecosystem premised on blockchain activity and just blockchain.
I think they're just wrapping up this session, and then we can move on. Are you guys hearing that when I play that?
Triggers for...
If you are, fantastic. We can just play that through there. Hopefully I don't get in trouble, if there is anything interesting. I'll just switch it off just in case. Okay, let's see what else you guys have. Blue Instant, we will see 60 cents next week, mark my words. Blue Instant says he wants $10 Fantom. Blue Instant says, people are so dumb for selling Fantom, they should block selling until $10. Andrew says this coin is completely undervalued. Do you think we can see a $2 to $4 this year? I mean, let's take a look at that whilst we're waiting for Andre Cronje. Let's take a look at the kind of longer term time frame, because a lot of people are asking this question. And for me, the potential that Fantom has is insane. If we bring this out, let's bring out the Fibonacci extensions, and you go from almost the swing low here on this current move all the way up to your swing high. The Fibonacci ratio comfortably... Oh, where's this taking me from? Oh, it's done it. It's put it on Fantom Bitcoin. Here we go. There we go. So you go swing low to swing high. What we comfortably can do is get to the Fibonacci ratio, which is $2.34 to $2.45. Right? Then all-time high is not crazy as well. All-time high, you're getting to $3.60. And then even more interesting is, can you get to the Fibonacci extension, which is, for me, conservative, right? We revive here, we get back to all-time highs, we work our way back up, $5.80. So one thing is for sure, Fantom's got a lot of potential indeed. Definitely got a lot of potential here. Now, I do want to bring out, let's see if I can bring out Fantom dominance. Look at this. This is Fantom dominance, guys. This is how Fantom is dominating versus other cryptos. So just if you held Fantom versus all other cryptos, it's outperforming the market by, let's just take the measured move here. Insane. 134% outperformance of the market. That is insane Fantom dominance. Now, yes, it did fall to the downside faster, but that's why you expect faster runs to the upside, right? Because you took the risk to the downside and you get the benefits to the upside as well. This website is so bad, their online stream. Like, I can't find anything. full agenda, go down, find Andre Cronje, let's click here.
When it's not hands-on.
I think this session is just overrunning, guys, because he's still talking here, so we'll let him crack on. Waka says, working, driving while listening to you. Appreciate you guys. Angela, I've almost broke even with my loss in 2022 because of this coin. I hope it went up at least $2. Guys, remember, if you're in pain, and look, I don't like it when people sell projects that I'm in. Obviously, I hold a lot of Fantom, and I've got an interest in Fantom. But if you guys are seeing profits which you need, don't be scared to trim. This is one of the important things you guys need to learn is when you've just been through this roller coaster on Bitcoin, you know, get used to trimming some profits. Now, for me, I'm not trimming anything. I expect this to do far better. This is just the start for me. And once we clear some of these resistance levels and Bitcoin can start working its way quickly up towards 47, that's where things are going to get exciting for all the altcoins. This is just the start for me. So I'm not, you know, I'm not here just to kind of let it go up a little bit and take some profits. No, obviously, if I held Fantom for a bear market and continue to DCA, I'm doing that for crazy returns. I'm not doing that just to double up my money now and get out. I mean, that's not what I want to do. But if you guys are in different situations, I know some of you got yourselves into real pickles, right? Like putting your rent money or money you really need into Fantom or any other projects, then don't be scared to take profits. Everybody's in a different situation, right? Nobody can judge you. Why you're holding or what your needs are financially are very different to somebody else's. So please, just take a quiet moment to think, do you need to? Connor Gale, currently up 137% on my Fantom trade. New to trading, I got this crypto through watching your channel. Awesome, Connor. Hopefully you use my links in the description. BYBIT and BitGet links down below, guys. TA course, ijaz.uk/TA. Learn TA, guys. There's going to be a lot more of this to come. There's going to be exciting days where coins are moving. Maybe Fantom today, maybe another coin. They're all going to have their moments, right? And we've got to learn to identify them, trade them effectively. In terms of your long-term portfolio, just make sure you've got projects which you believe in. Projects you believe in which you can hold through the next period. Real Deal says, I think $10 is easy with this coin and these tokenomics and supply. Very good tokenomics. Definitely very good tokenomics. Looks like they're still running late. Can't see Andre Cronje speaking just yet. Very interesting. Ian, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. We're just sitting here watching Fantom price action. Fantom just hovering here slightly under 49 cents. Just simmering, trying to see if it's got any energy for the next move. Again, these are little consolidation periods, as you can expect, forming a bit of a triangle pattern almost here, you could say. Let's see. We just chew. Potential is huge. Not selling till the next bull run. Adam Matthews. Hardest part is letting it run. Absolutely. And look, FOMO is always going to be there. Like this is the problem with the market, right? When people invest, they want to buy. If this is the Bitcoin cycle, they want to buy exactly at the bottom and they want to sell exactly at the top. The reality is, it's not going to happen. If you just split the page in half, like here, and said generally I was buying here and selling here, you're going to do far better. Simplify it for yourselves. Right? Just try to buy around the bottom and try to sell around the top. Just keep it simple. Everybody wants to time it perfectly. Oh my God, if I didn't buy Fantom at 15 cents and sold it exactly at the peak right when Andre Cronje is selling, I did a bad trade. No, there's nothing wrong with taking profits, right? There's nothing wrong with, just doing it, making your life simpler and just doing it in round, in rough areas. Why are they running so far late? definitely says 6, and it is 6. Let's see what else you guys are saying here in the chats. NASA, good to see you. It is still early. Abdul Latif, $3 by the end of March. Shravanan says 87% in circulating supply. That's correct. Brandon Andre on MC. Which one do you like, Fantom or Near? I prefer Fantom. Look, Near Protocol's doing really well. It's got a lot of institutional backing. And I think, you know, it doesn't have to be that you have to pick one or the other. I think I'd want to hold a little bit of both. I just find Near a little bit expensive. Maybe I've been spoiled by some of the tokenomics of Fantom, but I really like, when I go buy Fantom, I buy it with joy, right? And when I go buy something like Near Protocol or anything else, I kind of struggle. Like, I have to convince myself, oh, buy some Near Protocol, you're going to be disappointed. But it's like, you know, when you go buy that, like, it's hard to explain. Like, let's say you're super rich, and it doesn't matter to you which chocolate bar you buy, right? You can buy a 50-cent chocolate bar, you can buy a £5 chocolate bar. It doesn't make a difference to you. But sometimes when you just get that 50-cent one, it just tastes better, right? It just tastes better, and you feel good. But when you buy that expensive Belgian chocolate, you're like, oh, what was that all about? Like, that's a bad analogy for how I feel between Fantom and Near Protocol right now. Smash those likes, guys. 128 of you waiting to see what happens eagerly to the Fantom price action. There you go. A green candlestick to reward your efforts here on the 5-minute chart here on Fantom. Let's take a look. Alex says, what's your Fantom sell price? Very good question. And to be honest, Fantom for me, I don't see myself selling it for a very long time. So even if we get back to the weekly chart, which I was just sharing with you, like, I don't see myself selling at all-time highs. I don't even see myself selling at the Fibonacci extension, because I think those are conservative targets. If we were to run up to like $10, I'd have to think about trimming it. And now the reason for that, which is an interesting question that somebody asked on one of my previous videos, is because it would form too much on my portfolio. Right, so like even right now, when Fantom doubles, it forms. Oh look, these other guys are coming on stage, so maybe Andre Cronje will come next. But even then, when this price moves, it doubles the section of my portfolio. So let's, for argument's sake, say I want Fantom to be 1% of my portfolio. Well, because the price has doubled, it's 2% of my portfolio, right? And it will keep growing. So we need to be very careful of not letting it over allocate into our portfolio. So I do have risk parameters where I'll be forced to sell just to balance my portfolio out, but I'll be a reluctant seller at that point. Let me just listen in to see if he's next. He is. Great stuff. No way, guys. They pre-recorded Andre's bit. See? They're playing it now. Told you you're not going to miss much. I'll listen in, and if there is anything, I'm going to replay it to you. I'll play a snippet for you.
Next time around we can change that. So today one of the things that we've been using a lot internally is looking at inverse mental models. So what I mean by that is how to ensure you fail.
Here we go.
Just like plotting out steps for success allows you to try and create a blueprint for how to achieve that, so does the inverse. You creating the blueprint for how to definitely fail. And by following those steps, you're also able to extract what not to do. So today's presentation, top 10 rules to avoid scalability, is very simplistically, what are those choices that we can make to make sure that we remain unscalable, to make sure that we remain unable to supply the necessary throughput of today's demand on blockchains. So starting off with, who am I? For those of you who don't know, my name is Andre Cronje.
Right, guys, I'm going to save you the stress of that. I'm going to listen to it in my ear, so you're going to see me slow, but just let's watch the charts. Yep, it's pre-recorded. I hate when conferences do that. Fantom, come on, Quantum, what are you guys doing? That was clearly a ploy to run up the agenda, to get sales on tickets, and then Andre Cronje is not even there. Like, that's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. I'm going to see if we can get him on the channel at some point. It's not a good look. We'll keep an eye on the price action here. Have got some green candlesticking incidentally. Minute chart here on the right hand side, 5 minute chart on the left hand side, trying to get to here, 49 cents. So while he's doing that, guys, he's just talking about who he is and what he does. But whilst look at this, bring out the VPVR. Look how important this level is that we're trying to break through. I want you guys to remember this is critical. Like, a lot of people fail to understand how quickly altcoins can move. There's a reason, like, you know, with everything, it's like whatever, Newton's third law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction or whatever it is, right? Like, when you have a coin that was pushed all the way to the downside, like we experienced with Fantom like this, and it gets punished more than the market, right? All coins get punished more than the market, and smaller market caps more so. Then surely you'd expect that equal movement. And the answer is yes. Like, that upwards move will be far easier than if the downwards momentum was like this with a step. And it wasn't. It didn't step down like this, okay? Therefore, we can equally fill that gap just like we fell so quickly. Okay, now, interestingly, where we were in this period, just zooming into here, is where all the resistance was. Right? There's no coincidence that all this volume is traded in here, because that is where on the weekly chart there's a bunch of resistance here, a bunch of resistance here, which we just had to fight through, and there's a little bit of remaining resistance around this cluster here, up to 50 cents. But then after that, when we collapsed quickly. We collapsed from this candle, which opened up around 164, all the way down here, down into the 50-cent range, without any rebuttal by the bulls. There was no support coming in here. Okay, so that works in our favor when we're trying to collect the price back up to the upside, when we're riding it back to the upside. So it's an exciting moment here, but you do need the wider market to move with you. You need Bitcoin to do the same thing, right? If you look at the equivalent chart here on Bitcoin, Bitcoin needs to do that same thing and run with you here. And again, Bitcoin's fighting that final bit of resistance here through the VPVR. Then things get a little bit easier for Bitcoin. Just like it fell quickly, you got with Bitcoin, you've got a little bit of resistance in this area. Can you see this clump around 30,000? That's going to be a hard level. And then again, you should be able to fill a gap up towards that 45, 46 range on Bitcoin as well. Price moving. Do I hold any Fantom ecosystem tokens like BYBIT? No, but I'm not averse to it. It's just during the bear markets, I didn't want to hold any second derivative plays. It was risky enough for me to hold something like Fantom as a small part of my portfolio because it's a low cap. But holding the smaller projects underneath, like that's more for when you're heading towards a bull run and things are looking a lot more rosier. That's when I'll bring on second derivative plays, which are ecosystem plays, or looking at things like gaming and NFT. It'll be the right time for different things. So for me right now, I'm looking at where's the flow of money. In my mind, it's going to go from Bitcoin when risk rotates on to Ethereum. Then they'll be looking at other larger cap projects, and then they'll be looking for layer ones, right? So that's what I'm focused on right now. And by the way, guys, that includes layer 2s. Please do not sleep on layer 2s. Look at this. What are we seeing? If we look at this on the week, I mean, Optimism's cooled off a little bit, but you've had Optimism move, you've seen Loopring do pretty well, and then you're seeing layer 1s do well as well, okay? So be very careful. Having said that, Optimism's having a little bit of a red day today, but if I just put this into context so you guys can understand, let me just see if I can pull it up. That's what Optimism's been doing, guys, right? So it's been crazy here, absolutely crazy here on Optimism. I mean, if you bought in just from the turn of the new year on Optimism up to the peak there, 170% return. So layer 2 is still the place. Obviously, Matic did well. Optimism's having a move. Loopring is having a move. I made a video on layer 2, so if you've not watched that, go watch that. Fantom going on the 1 minute chart now. Look at that, pushing through, heading towards 50 cents. Just still getting a little bit of rejection here on the minute chart. Let's see, we've pushed through this the first level now. So Andre Cronje's delivered us that level, which is important. Can we now push on to 50 cents while he's talking?
Impacted by each of said transactions. And then if the data storage overlaps, we execute those sequentially, synchronously. If the data storage does not overlap, we can execute them in parallel. There are other methods and methodologies to do this, but that is a quick example of how you can achieve those results. Moving on to point number 3, do everything on-chain. Executing everything on-chain and avoiding any kind of off-chain execution is obviously a great way to limit throughput. In these circumstances, you will be forced to, again, execute all transactions synchronously. You will be forced to spend all of the execute time of all of the nodes on the network. And maybe you're a quick primer on transaction execution. One thing to note, that if you have a transaction that has some kind of transition effect on a VM-based system, that transaction and its compute execution is executed by every single node in the network.
Ian saying, Fantom, Coty, Injective, all going nuts now. Yes, Coty, I do need to make an update video on Coty. Again, another project we've been speaking about since 2021. Obviously, JED token launch is expected to come next week. And that's going to be a big game changer for Coty. Again, one which has a small part in my portfolio. An exciting project at that. So definitely Coty is one to watch as well. Let's just pull up the Coty chart whilst Andre Cronje is not saying too much.
10. So again, currently, all architecture does everything on-chain because it is incredibly hard to prove that off-chain execution happened correctly. And this is something nowadays that we are starting to get closer to, but it is not yet viable. 150%. But we are getting insane, to the point guys. Insane. Where zero-knowledge proofs.
Sorry, guys, but this is exactly why you perma bears are going to keep getting wrecked. You just sit out of the market. And now my point is, yes, this could do something like this, right? All these coins could do something like that and then go for another run. But you just sat out of the market. And so by sitting out of the market, you just keep missing out on 10% here, 10% there, 20% there. The FOMO it creates means you never enter the market. That's why you've got to separate your emotions. I know it's easier said than done, but you've got to practice that skill. That is the key.
Or zero knowledge proof, then you've just wasted compute time again. So this doesn't work for everything, but it works for large batches of compute intensive systems. And this is not a current requirement of blockchain, but as we move to more data pipeline, more big data, even artificial intelligence and these kinds of data crunching and the things that need to happen and have a result on-chain, they will utilize off-chain execution with on-chain verification.
Shizzy says, man, I'm glad Andre is back. Absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing to come from listening to him, right? You've got somebody at the forefront that's a genius, that's smart, that can be like the Elon Musk figurehead. He's funny as well, of Fantom. Fantom do need that. Michael Kong's done a great job. Simone Pomposi's done a great job. But Andre is just a different level there to help get that attention from other people. When you've not got VC backing, when you don't have the backing of big companies and big names where they're going to put you on a stage, you've got to do the graft yourself. You've got to put in the hard yards, and you've got to make people hear about Fantom and make it so that once they use it, they don't want to leave. And that's why Fantom's progressing right now. Ian says, I think there's a lot of this recent pump will stick because so many people just got their entries and re-entries for the bull run and know that they are early. Absolutely. This is very different to 2021. People, when they're entering now, instead of just selling, they might be going, hang on a second. Fantom can go all the way back up to $5 here, go up to $10. And so you're absolutely right. The mindset now of people will be like, yeah, I can sell and take profits, but I much rather build up a big bag for the next bull run. Because if Fantom has just fell all the way down here from these $3.60 marks, you can imagine what it's going to do in the next bull run, right? So you're absolutely right. There is that mindset as well in the market.
Whereby you can ensure that as your throughput needs to increase because of demand, it does, because the more communication rounds you have, the faster you can reach consensus.
Struggling again here, guys. Look at that wick. You can see here on the minute chart, on the right-hand side, the bears step back in here. Very interesting battle going on here on the minute and 5-minute chart. Lots of trading activity. Look at that volume spike there. Crazy. Big 5-minute candle in this one. Danny, I did share that. Where do I see the price in the next bull run? I mean, you know, I shared that. Comfortably heading towards $10, in my opinion. I mean, the Fibonacci extensions will give you a conservative target. I've shared that with you guys. I mean, just that Fibonacci extension there on Fantom brings you to $5.80. I think once people cotton on to how good a project this is and how undervalued it is, it's quickly going to get gobbled up, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, of course, not financial advice. William says, let's go Fantom. I love Fantom. Maya says, Andre King DeFi's. Ramon, appreciate you, buddy. Got my back. Reshak says, stop talking. We can't hear what he's saying. I'm not here to stream it for you, Reshak. Do one. I'm not even allowed to stream it, to be completely honest. I'm just putting snippets so we don't get copyright striked on it. I did ask them. I did ask the quantum mining guys, can I stream it? They said, no, thank you. So I was like, yeah, I'll have to just relay the information to the guys because they care. Mr. Got Plenty, good to see you, buddy. So guys, so far the Andre Cronje speech is really, really technical. He's just covering off now how you should avoid previous science in fields on VM, programming. He's saying stick to proof of work, stick to EVM, stick to Merkle trees. And he says, be afraid to try new things. Okay, so he's almost saying best not to innovate. Sorry, what he's saying is too many people are avoiding innovating. He's saying you need to. Appreciate you, David. Really nice of you. Jeff, slow and steady is what we need, not a repeat 2020. Agree, but remember, it's different. 2021, you're at the peak of the market. Now you're at the bottom of the market. So you absolutely do have a different dynamic going on here. Yes, there are always traders. There'll be people pump and dump, but people are trying to get their entries. You know, like Ian said as well, people are trying to get their entries.
Architectures that allow us to test in a real world environment by being able to replay all actions that we've seen on chain, but without needing to break any of the real systems. So it is hard to create these environments, but it is possible. This is one I particularly like because we see it a lot in our space, and it ties in again a lot with the previous point, which is avoid innovating, which very simplistically only copy your competitors. If you see they're doing something, do it. If they're not doing anything, don't try, don't attempt. And this happens a lot. You know, you'll try something new, and then you'll get a bunch of people telling you, oh, but company ABC isn't doing it. Why are you doing it? And that's such a nonsensical thing to actually respond to, because just because they're not doing it doesn't mean it's not something to try. It doesn't mean it's not something to attempt. So I think a lot of projects in this industry focus far too much on sticking to a certain status quo.
Smash up the lights, guys. Andre Cronje just speaking about the need not to copy competitors, right? Do new stuff, be innovative, come up with different things. Don't just copy the status quo of EVMs and normal things like that. Try new things. And it's good. It's good that Fantom have their innovator back. Excited about crypto and raring to go. Market just getting rejected here, guys. Just getting a rejection a little bit here. Struggled here at the 14.9 cents mark. Acted like resistance again. So now we need to be careful of what is known as almost a triple top pattern. 1, 2, 3 and then thrown back down. So you just need to be careful. Andre Cronje won't be speaking for too long, so we could see a little bit of a sell-off after that. But the main thing up for us here, just zooming back out, is as long as we hold the majority of our gains and work our way up, that's good, right? I mean, this is where we're at still. So even if we do have a little bit of a retracement here on the 4-hourly, let's bring out the EMA ribbon. Even if it wanted to come down to the EMA ribbon, not ideal, but if it does come back to 41 cents, still a huge difference to where we were at the turn of the year. I mean, at the turn of the year, guys, we're talking about 20 cents, right? You guys remember sitting at 19 cents, 20 cents, covering this off when we were buying at 15 cents as well. So huge progress here by Fantom. Do not be scared by a little bit of a pullback. In fact, those are the pullbacks where I might be deploying a little bit more to top up my bags. Sean, hi Ijaz, are you looking at any smaller tokens on Fantom such as Boo, Liquid Driver? Covered that off. Not currently, not looking at ecosystem plays just yet, but there will be the right time and place. For me, that is going to be when we're heading more into a bull market. I'll feel it and I'll let you guys know when I'm focused on those, but not right now for me. And I know they're going to go crazy right now because when Fantom's going crazy, all the ecosystem plays go crazy as well, but you know, there's only so much bandwidth I've got to go into some risky plays. Jeff, am I expecting a big correction this quarter? Look, let's take it step by step. I think looking at it that holistically in the given age we're in today is a bit risky, right? If you want to ask me what are the risks on my mind, the risks on my mind is that Jerome Powell comes out. By the way, Andre Cronje is pretty much done, right? He didn't say much. There you go. He's done.
You all have a lovely day, and I hope you all enjoy the conference. Thank you so much for everyone's time.
All right, next up is pretty exciting. It's one of my favorite parts. Every time we do a conference, we do pitches like this, VC pitches.
Right, guys, so that's that. Andre Cronje is done. Let me turn that off and give you guys my undivided attention. Look, not much, I thought that was a bit dodgy by Quanta Miami. They could have done a much better job. And that's not good, right? They didn't have him in person. They should have just made it very clear. They do this a lot. People do it with CZ as well, where CZ kind of says, oh, I'm going to make it clear when I'm at my next conference. I'll make it very clear if I'm not there in person. That's not good. They do it to sell tickets. They do it for people like me to buy the virtual pass to help you guys watch it. And then there's not really much substance. Either way, looking at the Fantom price, don't be surprised to see a little bit of sell-off now, right? The speech is finished, but you do have Michael Kong at 8 o'clock. So there's a lot of things going on in the Fantom ecosystem to keep the price propped up. But also, let's just take this for the long-term view. If we look at this and say, okay, let's say we're sitting at 50 cents, but really 10 cents of that is traders. Then we're back to 40 cents. But even at 40 cents around this EMA ribbon, I'm cool with that. If it pulls down to there, I'm topping up a little bit more, to be honest. And even nicer, if we take a look at the daily chart and look at the EMA ribbon on the daily, then that would be an even nicer level if it came down to these levels at 33, 34, 35. No promises that it comes back to here, guys. Right, but on its way, I'll start nibbling, and the bites will get bigger and bigger, and the closer we get to 33, I'll be loading up even more, okay? And now my problem is I end up loading too much Fantom, and I always have to control myself, say, guys, come on, it's a small market cap, sort yourself out, and eat your vegetables, buy some Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, and I have to train myself to do that. So you guys may have similar things, but again, I know some of you are more DJ than me. What are your game plans? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to smash up the likes as well, guys. Fantom is much better than Solana. I would not say so. No, for the Fantom to take the place. So I don't understand that. I hope Fantom becomes the new people's chain of the next bull cycle, especially with Solana backtracking. Absolutely. I mean, this is huge. I mean, so we were saying this throughout the year last year, and even when I had Michael Kong and Simone on the channel, go watch those interviews, by the way, guys. Those are evergreen. They're not outdated. Go watch them. In essence, I was putting it to them and saying, guys, why are we not getting more marketing? What is going on? And also, why are we not doing more in terms of use cases around around NFTs, around gaming? Because when you look at the Fantom run-up, it was huge in DeFi. And DeFi is going to continue to be one of the staples. I just read a Pantera Capital report. We went through that with members, right? If you want to become a member, ijaz.uk/member, you can cancel any time. It's like $30 a month or something. You get 3 times weekly live streams with me, dedicated small group. Ask all the questions you want, right? Do technical analysis. We read through reports and all that. And I read through this report. It took me hours to go through this report, and I just extracted the highlights for our members. And in there, one of the key things they said was that DeFi is going to continue to be an interesting narrative. And Fantom's going to benefit from that. Fantom is really well positioned with great DeFi projects and one of the best DeFi minds in Andre Cronje. But if you want to take advantage of what Solana has done and a bit more what some of these other projects have done, you've got to get into NFTs, you've got to get into gaming. And I can see Fantom are making a concerted effort on that as well. Neil says, are you covering Michael Kong? Probably not. It's again going to be a 10-15 minute bit. His will be in person because I know he's in Miami. I've seen him in Miami. But I don't think there's going to be much to it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the price will move, but otherwise I'll just be streaming all day. If you want it, if you guys really want it, let me know, and maybe we can jump on in the next hour and a half. Is it worth staking my Fantom? Are you staking? This is a personal choice. So during bear markets, I try to avoid staking. And part of the reason for that, I just get a little bit spooked. So when you saw Terra Luna collapse, when you saw a bunch of other stuff going on, I just felt, what's the need to chase so much yield? Now, if you want to stake it natively, that's a lot more safer than putting it in one of these other crazy yield farming opportunities. I think on the F wallet, you're probably getting about 6% now. It's an option, right? It's better than what you're getting in a bank account, I guess. What is Harry doing in this bull run? I think he's building life, right? He's making you buy life coin. Mystical Plane says, I have Fantom in some yield farms, but I cannot pull it anytime I want. Minus impermanent loss. Yes, be careful of impermanent loss. William says, in at 0.21 for 10,000. Congrats. 2.5x on your money. Not bad at all. So it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a difficulty still around this level. Don't be surprised to see us kind of call off. But also, if we can break through this level, guys, it will be a nice little push up, right? Even something like this. And boom, when Michael Kong speaks, maybe we can get something like that. That'll be nice. That'll be a nice move. But let's not be greedy. We're up 20% today. Even if we can hold this level, I'll take that for now. And like I said, if it falls down to 40 cents, I'll probably be nibbling some more. Thank you guys for joining me for this Andre Cronje, what turned out to be a pre-recorded session. Not much said, but more important is the fact that he was representing Fantom on that big stage. I think it's really good for Fantom to have him back. They tried to shrug it off and say, oh, they didn't miss him. But the reality was he's one of the best minds in the space. Anybody who knows him will tell you that. And it's better that he's on their team and in crypto as a whole. Right? Even if you're not investing in Fantom, it's better that he's involved in crypto than sat on the sidelines falling out of love with crypto. So yeah, there you go, guys. If there is anything else, I will be on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at RealIjaz1. Make sure you're in the Telegram. That's free as well. Make sure you watch the TA course. That's free as well. I'm an idiot. Why is everything for free? Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the